guys, it is Wednesday, and you know that Wednesdays equal tea time. If this is your first time tuning into Tea Time with Tia, I am Tia Williams. I created Tea Time with Tia as a platform for me to empower you to be free. As I spill my tea, I share my testimonies on how I overcame real life situations using kingdom principles. What are kingdom principles, you ask? They're simply God's way of doing things. Principles work for anyone, anywhere, anytime, and under any circumstances. Come on, isn't that good news? I think it's excellent news. Look, I'm sitting on the edge of my seat because I want you guys to really listen to today's Tea Time with Tia topic, and it is, right? Women is wisdom and man is instruction. Now, I attempted to teach this lesson maybe 2 weeks ago, and I ran into so many technical difficulties that I just end up deleting the video. So, as most of you guys know, I celebrated my 52nd birthday, whoop, 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 on August 30th. Thank you guys in abundance for all the love, all of the honor, all of the birthday blessings that you guys sown on me. I receive them. I receive them. And I pray that God will bless you exceedingly abundantly and above all that you can think for, wish for, ask for, or even imagine. So thank you so much. Thank you guys for complimenting my platinum crown. I want to give a special shout out for the dynamic duo, Miss Shannon Wren and her daughter, Shandell Wren. Thank you guys so much for helping me to bring this platinum crown back to life. You know, I wore my hair like this some years ago, and I said, you know what? Let's circle back. Look, let's spin the block. Let's spin the block on this do. And I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let's try to tackle this teaching today. This again is something that God asked me to teach. And I love it. It's so interesting. I never thought of it like this, but so today's Tea Time with Tia topic is a woman is wisdom, a man is instruction. So, I mean, even the title is really showing you what your role is as a woman and as a man. And so, in unpacking this lesson, you guys will see, really see who you are and who God created you to be. And so, first, I want to tackle the task of distinguishing the difference between wisdom and instruction. And then I want to do a comparison of women and wisdom. And then also, prayerfully, if I have time, this may be a two-part teaching, and then we'll look at men, the comparison between man and instruction. So let's just get into it. Okay, so let's start with a scripture. Proverbs 1 through 3. Proverbs 1 through 3. It says, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity, to receive the instruction of wisdom. I really like Proverbs 1 verse 3. But let's take a look at the definitions of the word wisdom. So there is a Hebrew word for wisdom, and it means hokmah. And hokmah is a feminine noun. Okay. And then for instructions, there were several Hebrew translation as well as Greek translation for instruction. So let's look at that. The Hebrew word for instruction when referring to discipline, correction, or chastisement is generally masculine. The Hebrew word for instruction is musar, and it is a masculine noun. And so I thought that that was interesting that the Hebrew word for instruction is a masculine noun, and the Hebrew word for wisdom is a feminine noun. Okay. And so musar is derived from the verb yuasar, to chasten. It's frequently used in the Hebrew Bible to denote instruction or discipline. It can also imply a form of restraint or warning. And then I looked up in the as I was doing my research, I came across another Hebrew word for instruction is lekwa. It's also masculine. Lekah, derived from the verb to take. So remember in Proverbs chapter 1 verse 3, it says to receive. So in order to receive instructions, it means to take. You have to take it. Can refer to instruction, teaching, or learning. And I want to say I came across also there was a Greek translation for instruction, but it really converts the word masar. And so I'll get into that. So let's do a comparison between wisdom and instruction. Let's see the difference, how they are related, but they have a distinction, right? And so instructions provides specific guidance or direction. Instructions provide specific guidance or directions. Let me see if I can put some of it on the board for you. Okay. While wisdom is the capacity to apply knowledge and make sound judgment based on that knowledge and experience. I mean, doesn't that, it even sounds like a woman and a man, right? Instruction provides specific guidance or direction, while wisdom is the capacity to apply knowledge and make sound judgments based on that knowledge and experience. So in essence, instructions tells you what to do, while wisdom helps you decide what is best to do. Come on, I'm telling you, you guys should tune in, right? Because the lesson never unfolds as if you think it will unfold, right? It's going to give us like an insight, right, into the mind of Christ and how he orchestrated things and how he put things in place and how he created us to be and what was on his mind when he created man and woman, right? So, I mean, I think that is good. Instruction tells you what to do. Come on, your father, where's your father? Wait till your father gets home, right? He tells you what to do. Listen to your mother. So while wisdom helps you decide what's best to do, you know, just like a woman, we go a step forward. Okay. So let's look at instruction. Instruction is the process of teaching or training someone about specific procedures or facts. It provides the building blocks of knowledge, offering a framework for understanding. Think of it as the how to aspect. Okay? Instruction is the process of teaching or training someone about specific procedures or facts. It provides the building blocks of knowledge, offering a framework for understanding. Okay, so let's look at wisdom. Wisdom is the ability to use knowledge and understanding to make sound judgments and decisions. It goes beyond simply knowing facts. It involves applying that knowledge and eff- applying that knowledge effectively, come on, in various situations. Wisdom is often associated with good judgment, discernment, and the ability to see the bigger picture. Come on. Come on, women. Come on, women. Oh, no, they don't snap no more. They do this. Come on, clock that. I mean, that just sounds like us. God just, you know, crafted us perfectly. Uh, and this is why man and woman are joined together. So they give an analogy. Imagine learning to cook. Instructions will be learning the specific steps of a recipe, like adding flours, eggs, etc. Wisdom will be knowing when to adjust the recipe based on the ingredients available, the desired outcome, or even the cooking time based on the altitude. Come on. So, what do we say? Instruction is knowing that something is the case, but wisdom is knowing how and why to apply that knowledge. That is so good. Wisdom can be developed through instruction, experience, and reflection, while instruction provides the raw material. Wisdom is the process of refining that material and using it effectively. Okay, so that is the distinction between instruction and wisdom. Okay, so now I want us to take a look at women and wisdom. And I'm telling you, this was so good as I was doing my research. And you'll see some of the similarities in scriptures when God is referencing women and wisdom. Okay, so let's see. Let's go back. Let's look at this. A woman who fears the Lord is like wisdom crying in the streets. Her voice is strength to those who hear. Now let's look at this. With woman and wisdom. Women who fear the Lord is like women crying in the streets. So let's look at the scripture, Proverbs 1, verse 20 and 21. It says, wisdom calls aloud outside. She raises her voice in the open squares. She cries out loud in the chief concourses. At the openings of the gates in the city, she speaks her words. Now let's look at Proverbs 31 and 30. It says, charm is deceitful and beauty is passing, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. So it says, wisdom is never silent. She calls out to save lives from destruction. In the same way, a godly woman uses her voice in prayer, in counsel, and encouragement to bring life and direction to her home and community. Her words are not mere sound, but strength. Come on. She uses her voice to praise. Let's look at number 2. As wisdom builds her house with 7 pillars, so godly women lays each stone with diligence and prayer. So they both are builders. If we look at Proverbs 9 and 1, wisdom has built her house. She has honed out her 7 pillars. Now let's take a look at Proverbs 14 and 1. The wise woman builds her house, but the foolish pulls it down with her words. So you see the comparison between wisdom and woman, right? We are both the same. Wisdom builds her house, come on, and has honed her 7 pillars. And a wise woman builds her house, right? She builds it, but the foolish pulls it down with her hands. Come on. So we want to be wise women. We want to embody wisdom. Come on. We want to take on our identity. God created us in his image and in his likeness for us to be wise. So we don't want to be foolish women and tear down our houses with negativity, with words that are curses, right? With always complaining, with not uplifting. Come on, no one wants to be around you because you're negative. You're going to always have something to complain about. No, the Bible compares us to wisdom and saying that we build our house. Come on, so we're going to take this information, this teaching, and we're going to apply knowledge. We're going to put this on. We're going to walk in it. Come on. Let's look at number 3. Wisdom is more precious than rubies. A virtuous woman's worth surpasses them all. Now let's take a look at Proverbs chapter 3 verse 15 says, she is more precious than rubies, and all the things you may desire cannot compare with her. Proverbs 3 and 10 says, who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. You see the comparison between wisdom and woman? Come on, a wise woman. Come on. Her worth is far above rubies, and so is wisdom. Come on, this word came from God. A woman is wisdom. A woman is wisdom. Let's look at number 4. She clothes herself with strength and honor, as wisdom wraps her children in the garment of understanding. She clothes herself with strength and honor, as wisdom wraps her children in the garment of understanding. Here we have Proverbs 31:25 that says, strength and honor are her clothing. She shall rejoice in time to come. This is a wise woman. Proverbs 4 verses 7 through 9 says, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and in all you're getting, get understanding. Come on, exalt wisdom, and she will promote you. She will bring you honor when you embrace her. Come on, doesn't that sound like Proverbs 31 and 25? Strength and honor are her clothing. It says she will place on your head an ornament of grace, a crown of glory she will deliver to you. Come on, so when we walk in wisdom, right, we can expect all of these things. All of these things come with wisdom, being a wise woman. Number 5, as wisdom opens her mouth to instruct, so the woman speaks with kindness, and her tongue guards the path of peace. Come on, wisdom opens her mouth to instruct. Let's take a look at Proverbs 31 and 26. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and on her tongue is the law of kindness. Proverbs 15 and 1 says, a soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Come on, you got to know what to say and when to say it, right? You don't need to always say what's on your mind. Come on. You can cipher through your thoughts, right? The Bible is giving us some great clues. It's giving us some great instructions. A soft answer turns away wrath. It is no need for you to pick and poke and just say all kinds of things that is going to tear down your house. Remember, a foolish woman tears down her house, but a wise one builds it up. And so when you're speaking to someone and you know that somebody is already, agitated or irritated, or you know that it can get it's very sensitive, it's no need to let that mouth just be on rapid fire. Come on, it tells us Proverbs 15:1, a soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. So we want to have kindness. The law of kindness is on our tongue. The way of the foolish is ruin, but the hands of the wise woman turns the home toward life. Come on. Proverbs 14:1 says, the wise woman builds her house, but the foolish pulls it down with her hands. And then Proverbs 24:3-4 says, through wisdom a house is built, and by understanding it is established. By knowledge the rooms are filled with all precious and pleasant riches. Come on, it pays to be wise. Number 7, wisdom was with God in the beginning. Now this one right here, you guys, I want you to see. Wisdom was with God in the beginning. A godly woman walks with God in the present. So here we have Proverbs 8, verses 22-31. The Lord possessed me at the beginning of his way. Now this is me is wisdom. But what is wisdom? Wisdom is woman. So in the beginning, come on. Before anything else was on the scene, come on, we women, wisdom was on the scene right there with God. We was his sidekick. Come on, the Lord possessed me at the beginning of his way. Before his works of old, I have been established from everlasting, from the beginning, before there was ever an earth. Come on, before there was ever an earth. Give me a second, you guys. Okay, come on. Before there was ever an earth, when there were no depths, I was brought forth. Come on, when women, come on, women. When there were no fountains abounding with water, before the mountains were settled, before the hills, I was brought forth. Come on, we are needed, women. Our wisdom is needed. While as yet he had not made the earth or the fields or the primal dust of the world. When he prepared the heavens, come on, I was there. When he drew a circle on the face of the deep, come on. When he established the clouds above, when he strengthened the fountains of the deep, when he assigned to the sea its limits, so that the waters could not transgress his command, when he marked out the foundations of the earth, then I was beside him as a master craftsman, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing in his inhabited world. And my delight was with the sons of men. Come on, I mean, if you can just put this in perspective and get this in your heart, you will see why you are far above rubies. Come on, that God instilled wisdom. He created you in the image of wisdom. Come on. So to not operate in all of that God created us to be you can see how foolish. I mean, you've seen a foolish woman before. And I mean, it's almost sad because it's like they don't really understand who they are. They don't understand what they possess. They don't understand their purpose. Come on. They just don't get it. They are failing miserably, and it is sad to, I mean, sad when you think about this scripture, when you really meditate on this, when you see that God, what God has equipped us as women to do. I mean, why you think you're able to multitask? Why you think you're able to see the big picture? I mean, just think about how he called wisdom on the scene, and he placed in us all of the same attributes, all of the same characteristics, all of the same traits. We possess that as wisdom. I don't know if you guys are getting it. I mean, it causes us to walk a certain way, to talk a certain way, to hold ourselves to a higher standard because we are wisdom. We come with a lot, we bring a lot to the table. Come on, you won't settle for any Tom, Dick, or Harry because you know what you bring to the table. Oh, I hope you guys get it. I pray that you will go back and watch this video. Let's look at Micah 6 and 8. He will shown you, oh man, what is good. He has shown you, oh man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you but to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God? Okay, number 8. Those who embrace wisdom find life. Those who cherish a virtuous woman finds favor from the Lord. Here we go. Proverbs 8 and 35. For whoever finds me find life and obtains favor from the Lord. Let's look at Proverbs 18 and 22. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Look, I can't make this any more simplistic than this. You see it for yourself. I'm giving you receipts, as they say. Come on, wisdom and women are the same. This is so good. Okay. Let's look at instructions. Right? And we talked about how instructions provide specific guidance or direction. Come on, man, here's your part. Cause as I hype my bestie up, my girlfriend, let's hype our man up. So here we have the Hebrew word for instruction when referring to discipline, correction, or chastisement is generally masculine. The Hebrew word for instruction is musar. It's a masculine noun. It can also refer to discipline, correction, or chastisement. Another Hebrew word for instruction is lakah. It is also masculine. Proverbs 4 and 2 says, For I give you good doctrine. Do not forsake my law. Okay, so now let's look at some similarities. I use Chat GPT to create like a table for me. And I asked it to do it in so many different ways. So let's look. Let's see. So the first word they gave in the Greek was paideia. Paideia. And Greek is more New Testament, and Hebrew is Old Testament. That's where I get Musar. But I'll break that down for you. Oh, I'm doing good on time. A man in instruction can be seen as similar through the lens of the Bible. Both are created to guide, build, and bring order. Men, write that down. They are both created to guide, to build, and to bring order. So both are given by God for guidance. Man, Adam was formed by God and placed in the garden with responsibility. Come on, instructions. God's law was given to guide his people. Let's look at Deuteronomy 30. Let's look at Deuteronomy 30, verses 15 and 16. See, I have set before you today life and good, death and evil, in that I command you today to love the Lord your God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments, his statutes, and his judgments, that you may live and multiply. And the Lord your God will bless you in the land which you go to possess. Right? So just as instructions show the way to go, man is called to lead, teach, and set direction in his home and community. Come on, men, you have an assignment. You have a part to play in all of this. You have a role. I'm telling you that, I was a single mom of two sons, but I grew up in a two-parent household. And so I knew the value that my dad had being in the household. And so I thought that it was so unfair for me not to give my sons that same value. Now, even though their biological dad chose to not be in the household, right? That wasn't enough for me. I knew that they needed to have a father in the household just for this, because a man is called to lead, to teach, and set directions in his home and community. And as a mother, I there was so much that I can do. They needed a father. They needed a dad. They needed a man. They needed an example of how to do these things. Number two, both carry authority and responsibility. Man, Joshua was told, be strong and very courageous, so you may be careful to do according to all the law. His leadership depends on obedience. And here is instruction. God's word is authoritative and must be obeyed. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Come on, a man like instruction is meant to embody authority that directs toward life, not confusion. Come on, men, you are ordering steps here. Come on, just like instructions. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Number three, both can be ignored or followed with consequences. Remember, man, Adam, he ignored God's instructions, and the result was the fall of humanity. And then Israel ignored God's commands and suffered captivity, right? So if you ignore instructions, right, there are consequences. Ignoring either a godly man or God's instructions can lead to loss, while following them leads to blessings. Women, come on. It's okay to follow. Number four, both are instruments of building and order. Nehemiah led the people to rebuild Jerusalem walls with clarity and structure. I'm sorry. Instructions. God gave Moses exact instructions for the tabernacle so that his presence could dwell among Israel. A man provides order to a household or community the same way instructions provides order to a task. Men, are you seeing that? Number 5, both reflect God's wisdom. Both reflects God's wisdom. Solomon prayed for wisdom to lead God's people rightly. Instructions. Proverbs itself is written as instructions, often framed as a father speaking to his son. Let's look at Proverbs 4, 1 and 2. Hear, my children, the instruction of a father, and give attention to no understanding. For I give you good doctrine. Do not forsake my law. I'm going to read. When I was my father's son, verse 3, tender and the only one in the sight of my mother, he also taught me and said to me, let your heart retain my words, keep my commands, and live. Get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forget nor turn away from the words of my mouth. That is good. The instruction of a father. That is Proverbs 4 and 1. Man is called to carry and apply God's wisdom, just as instructions preserve and reveal that wisdom. Okay, so here we see a man and instructions are similar because both are vessels of direction, order, responsibility, and wisdom. When aligned with God, they both lead others towards life, blessing, and fulfillment of purpose. Okay, then I went and asked him to add in the Greek word for instruction. And paideia, Paideia. And this Greek word for the New Testament, it means instruction, training, discipline, and correction. So the root idea is raising and educating a child. But spiritually, it refers to God's way of training believers through teaching, discipline, and corrections. So if we look at Ephesians 6 and 4, it says, fathers, do not provoke your children to anger, but bring them up in the discipline, the paideia, and instruction of the Lord. So the richest word for instruction is paideia, Paideia, because it combines teaching and discipline and formation of character. Come on, men, you got work to do. This is what now we women can do it all, but we aren't supposed to do it all alone, all by ourselves. You guys have a part to play in it. One. Okay. That is good. Much like how a man is called to guide, correct, and nurture. Okay. Fatherhood and discipline. Ephesians 6:4 uses paideia directly. Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger. See, they're already tagging the father, but bring them up in the discipline and instruction of the Lord. So here the man is tasked with embodying paideia, shaping his children's character through training and guidance. Come on, it is nothing so beautiful. When I go to the gym, there's sometime this father and son duo there, and they're both working out in the gym. I mean, and he's training his son. You know, you look at someone like Deion Sanders, very hands-on, training his sons. And you can see that those children have a equal love for their mother as well as their father. Their father did not shuck the responsibility of rearing the children on the wife, right? He knew, that they had a role to play. Leadership and correction. Hebrews 12 verses 7 and 8 shows God himself using paideia. God is treating you as sons. For what son is not disciplined paideia by his father? Come on. So we said that it means instruction, discipline, correction. This is the role of the father. This passage compares God's fatherly role to a human father's. Discipline and instruction are not harshness, but loving guidance. Isn't that good? Okay, wisdom and formation. In Greek culture, paideia referred to the entire upbringing and education of a child into a responsible adult. Spiritually, it's the formation of the believer. Similarly, a man, especially in the home, is meant to form and build the lives of those entrusted to him. So, men, you guys know that you are going to have to answer to God, right? To whom much is given, much is required. You guys were placed as the head. And so, as much as you want to blame the woman and say, well, she won't let me, she won't allow me, right? You got to go back to the Garden of Eden, right? It wasn't until Eve gave the fruit to Adam that it became a sin. Come on. And remember, they started playing the blame game. But who is God going to hold accountable? The head. So take your position, take your authority, take your posture, because God gave it to you. Okay. So a man reflects God's role, not just giving commands, but shaping lives through consistent teaching, correction, and loving discipline. I thought that was so good. And then I wanted them to add Musar in there. Okay, so it told me that the Greek word paideia, since the Greek translation of the Old Testament is often translate musar as paideia. So that was good. I did not know about paideia. I did know about musar, but the Old Testament Greek, I'm sorry, the Old Testament musar is translated in the New Testament paideia. So they're the same. Musar is to discipline, chasten, or correct. Discipline, correction, instruction. It carries the sense of shaping character through guidance and correction. And we looked at Proverbs 1 and 8. My son, hear the instruction, musar, of your father, and forsake not the law of your mother. Okay, instruction of your father. So fathers, You are there to instruct. You are there to guide. You are there to correct. Come on. That is your role. Musar is tied directly to a father's role. His discipline and guidance represents God's wisdom. Come on, when we get into the word, when we read our Bibles, come on, we'll see God's intention towards us. We'll know what role we are to play. There's no guessing games. You know, you don't have to go by what you seen your father do, right? Because some people wasn't raised in the fear and admonition of the Lord. And so, but if you go to the word, come on, he'll tell you exactly what your role is. Proverbs 3:11-12. My son, do not despise the Lord's discipline, Musar, and do not resent his rebuke, because the Lord disciplines Yasar, those he loves as a father, the son he delights in. God's Musar is compared to a father's correction. Proverbs 4:13. Hold on to instruction, Musar, and do not let it go. Guard it well, for it is your life. Musar is life-giving, much like a man who provides guidance to protect and nurture. Job 5:17. Blessed is the one whom God corrects, Musar. So do not despise the discipline of the Almighty. Musar shapes humility, maturity, and endurance like the influence of a wise man. And then there's a comparison. Musar is instruction and discipline. Man is father, leader, and guide. Musar corrects, discipline, and shapes character. A man is called to discipline and guide his children. Proverbs 13:24, Ephesians 6:4. Musar protects from destruction by showing the right path. A man protects the household and community by leading in righteousness. You can look at Joshua 24:15. Musar reflects God's loving correction. Man reflects God's fatherhood when he lovingly instructs and corrects. Isn't this good, you guys? Musar is life-giving when embraced. Proverbs 4:13. Man brings life and stability when he walks in wisdom. Proverbs 20:7. So we have Musar, the Hebrew Old Testament, means discipline, correction, and instruction. And Musar is translated to the Greek paideia in the New Testament, means instruction, training, nurturing, discipline. Both words describe the father's role, a man called to instruct, correct, protect, and shape lives. You guys can write that down. A father's role. A man is called to instruct, correct, protect, and shape lives. Now you see that you cannot correct if you haven't given instructions, right? Some dads are out of alignment and they want to correct, but they haven't taught anything. So you first have to instruct in order to correct, and protect is not the first thing. And you're called to shape lives, just as God does with his children. And then I did a 3-part. I did the Musar, paideia, and the man's role. So let's look at that really quick. 10 minutes left. Musar is discipline, correction, instruction, shaping character through guidance and rebuke. Paideia is instruction, training, and discipline, nurturing formation like raising a child. And then a role of a man, father, leader, or guide. A man disciplines and guides his children, reflecting God's character. Musar protects from destruction by keeping one on the right path. Paideia provides moral and spiritual direction that safeguards believers from sin and error. And a man protects his household. I don't know why this want to do this on this teaching, but it's okay because I'm almost done. So I'm going to switch cameras. I think you guys could hear me. That's okay. I'm going to switch cameras on them because I'm almost done. A man protects his household by establishing righteous direction. Musar is life-giving when embraced, brings wisdom and maturity. Paideia brings growth, holiness, and maturity in Christ. And a man's wisdom and leadership brings life, stability, and blessings to his family. So do you guys see the similarities in in instruction and man? Okay, Musar expresses God's love through correction. Paideia expresses God's fatherhood in his dealings with his children. And a man mirrors God's fatherly love by correcting without provoking. I need water. Hold on, you guys. Okay. It don't want me to teach this lesson. I don't know why. Because it don't want you to know who you are. Okay, so in summary, Musar, the Hebrew word translation of instruction, shows God's discipline in the Old Testament. Paideia is the Greek for the New Testament. It shows God's training in the New Testament. And man is called to embody both, guiding, protecting, correcting, and nurturing others with wisdom and love. One more thing I want to show you, because I don't think we talked about Lequah, Lequuqah, and that means to take, to receive. Remember Proverbs 3? To receive the instructions of wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity. Lequah, to take or to receive. It also means teaching, instruction, learning, doctrine, insight, receive. Proverbs 1 and 5. Let the wise hear and increase in learning, Lequah, and the one who understands obtain guidance. Wisdom is received and becomes a kind of intellectual. Come on. Proverbs 4 and 2, for I give you good doctrine. Lequah, do not forsake my law. A father's teaching, come on, is a legacy of instruction. May my teaching, Deuteronomy 32 and 2, fall like rain, my speech settle like dew. Lequah, instruction or teaching, is something given and taken in. It's received. A man imparts wisdom and examples for others to receive. Lequah is considered valuable and lasting. A man's words and actions become part of his legacy. Lequah nourishes and gives life. A man nourishes his family and community through wisdom and guidance. And liqua can be passed down from generation to generation. A man leaves a teaching character legacy that shapes descendants. Isn't that good? Okay, liqua comes from God or a wise teacher. It is received. A man is created by God and receives wisdom, strength, and calling from him. Liqua provides wisdom and understanding. Teaching increases discernment. A man provides wisdom to his family and community through counsel and example. Liqua is life giving compared to rain and dew, nourishing and sustaining. A man gives life and nourishment through protection, provision, and spiritual guidance. Liqua must be embraced, not ignored. Only the humble and wise receive liqua. A man's counsel and leadership must be heeded to bring blessings and order. Come on. Liqua preserves and guides, keeps one aligned with truth and righteousness. A man preserves his household and guides it towards righteousness. Come on. So liqua, Leqah, teaching, doctrine, receive. It is giving, life giving, guiding, and preserving. A man functions in the same way, not self made, but shaped by God to teach, guide, nourish, and preserve others. Come on. I did it in one lesson. Come on, you should go back and watch this video. I'm Tia Williams. I hope you guys enjoy Tea Time with Tia. I mean, go back and look at the similarities between women in wisdom and man in instruction, and you'll see the heart of God. I mean, God gave me that. I would have never thought, to do a teaching on this. And I always wonder, why do he want me to teach you this? Because it's something that we don't know. And God is concerned about us. He cares for us. He doesn't want us to miss things. It says that my people perish for a lack of understanding, for a lack of knowledge. And when God loves us so much to give us these little tidbits, to give us these insights, right? Things that he only reveals to his children. Come on, we want to liqua. We want to receive it. We want to take in this instruction, and we want to be wise and apply it to our everyday lives. Come on, you guys. I'm Tia Williams, and I hope you guys enjoy this teaching on today. I have a lot of things that I am working on. I am still working on my book. I am still working on creating a reality show. I have some other things that I'm working on, but it's only one of me. So I may be calling on some of you, pulling on some of you, because it's going to take more than just me to make this thing come true. So be blessed. Enjoy your Wednesday. Be kind. Have a kind word on your tongue. Walk in wisdom. Don't tear down your house. Wise women build. Men lead, correct, and guide. Come on, you guys. Let's show up in this world the way God intended for us to show up. I'm looking at my old camera and I forgot I switched cameras, but be blessed. Have a good one. Enjoy your day.